Hello everyone, this is the Australian Coin Collector and welcome back to my channel. I've just received these two packages and it's time for an unboxing. Now the coins that I bought were some Australian pre-decimal coins, including some silver florins, so let's get to unboxing. Alright, there you go. Now we've got a full Dansko Halfpenny coin album here full of coins. Then we've also got these 50% silver florins. Now, if you didn't already know, Australian silver coins from 1946 to 1963 were composed of 50% silver. Now, before that, it was composed of sterling silver. From 1946 onwards, it was 50% silver. Now, I bought these coins here for around silver spot to add into my Florin Dansko album. So let's start with these and we'll get into the full Australian halfpenny Dansko album later. Alright, so we'll put the album to the side and we'll look at these florins here. Alright, so I'll take these out and I'll show you each one. Alright, here we go. So we have we've got 11 coins right here, and we'll start with this one. So this one's a 1957. You can see a bit of green on there. Not too sure if that's verdigris or just like regular gunk. Looks like a bit of verdigris, which is a shame, but still is silver. So still a nice coin and a bit of Australian history. Then we've got this 1953. This one's not too bad, a bit of wear, but looks pretty good. Alright, and we've got this Australian florin. Now this one's in pretty good condition. It's a 1954, and it was to commemorate the royal visit, and you can see there's a lion there and a kangaroo behind it. There you go. Then we've got this 1956. It's a little bit dirty, but not too bad. Alright, then we've got this one. It's a 1960, pretty good condition. And we've got this 1963. Yeah, I think all of them are slightly dirty, but there's some better than others. Alright, this one's a 1959. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure it looks a bit cleaned. Yeah, which is a shame. Still Australian history, pretty nice. A 1954, it's 50%, Queen Elizabeth II. And we've got this 1958. Here you go. And, ooh, this one. Alright, that looks like the effects of PVC on the coin. So what PVC does, it leaches the chemicals into the coin, and it turns the surface of the coin green, and it destroys the surface and lowers the value of the coin. So yeah. And this last one is a 1962. Alright, now I'm going to add them into my Dansko Florin album. So I zoom this out. And I'm only going to add the ones that are in okay condition, because I'm not going to add the very low condition ones. So we first got this 1954, and that looks like in good enough condition to put this in. So it goes in this spot here, and all you do with the Dansko albums, you just slide this out, you pop the coin in like this, then you slide it back in. Easy as that. Alright, then we've got this one, 1959, unfortunately a bit dirty, so I might leave that one out. 1962, I'll put this one in, just slide it out, you pop it in, and you close it. Alright, this one is the PVC one, I'll also leave that one out. We've got the 1960 here, it's in okay condition. All of these, if I manage to find any better condition, of course, I'll swap them out. There you go. Try to put these in. Sometimes it needs a little bit of push. I try only touch the edges of the coin, but sometimes the only way to push it in is to touch the surface, which then we've got this 1953, goes in here. There you go. And this one's a 1954. Looks like we've already got one of these. Yeah, I think I'll leave this one out. We've got the 1956. We'll put this one in, doesn't have one yet. There you go. Alright. And we've got this 1958. That goes right here. So if you didn't already know, these Dansko sets, they were sold 1963. You know what? I'll put this one in. These Dansko sets were sold and manufactured by Dansko. They don't manufacture them anymore, but they made albums for countries all over the world. Alright, this one is 1957. I think I'll leave this one out. Alright, so we've added these coins into the Florin album. So now we move on to the Halfpenny album, which I purchased for around $100. There we go there. So it's bound in leather or something leather-like, and it folds out, and there you go. Alright, so we will start here. If you didn't already know, I'm trying to guess a Dansko album full for all the denominations of pre-decimal coins, which includes halfpenny, penny, 3p, 6p, shillings, and florins. And I might try get some crowns, although of course there's no album for them because there was only 2 years. But anyway, let's look at these coins. So this one's a push-in album. There we go. So we've got the obverse here. So it starts with just King George V because there was no halfpenny coins made with the obverse of the previous king. So it starts with this one. Here you go. Then we've got the 1911 vintage of 2 million, and we've got the 1912H. Let's see if I can zoom in a bit here. A 1912H with a mintage of 2.4 and a 1913. Then we've got the 1914 here. It's got a lower mintage of 1.4 million, and the 1914H. Then we've got this one. This one's a lower mintage coin. It's the 1915H, only got 720,000. And the 1916I. Then we've got the 1917I and the 1918I. Here you go. And we've got this 1919 over here. And the 1920, which is in pretty good condition. Alright, move to the 1921. And the 1922. And the 1923. This one was an extremely low mintage coin, so it's pretty rare and it's really expensive, so I probably won't be getting that coin. But after that was the 1924, and this one's only got a mintage of 681,000, which is a pretty low mintage coin, especially for the pre-decimals. Then we've got the 1925 and the 1926. There you go. Alright, then we'll move on to the next page, where we finished King George V coins. So we got the 1929, and these two lower mintage coins, so the 1930 and 31. Then we've got the 1932, 33, 34, 35, and 36. And that wraps it up for the King George V coins. Alright, so then we move on to the King George VI halfpennies. So they're from 1938 to 1952. And we start with the obverse. So the obverse is just a coin from these years, and it just shows you the portrait of King George VI. So next is the 1938 halfpenny there. It's not in too bad shape. And we've got the 1939. Now in 1939 there were two of them produced. There was this one and this one. So there's two different reverse. The first one is the Commonwealth reverse. That looks something like this. And that was used for all the years before that. Then there was also the 1939 kangaroo reverse, which is used for all the years after that. And the kangaroo reverse is the one that you want to look for because it's only got around 500,000 of them minted. So they're relatively low mintage. Pretty low mintage actually, and it's worth a little bit. Then we move on to the 1940, this one here, and the 1941. Now from here it starts to get up in the mintages, and the mintages get a lot higher. Not the 1942 though, and that one's just a 700,000 mintage there. Then we've got the 1942Y, and for all the Y coins that means Perth Mint, and you might be able to see there's a little bit of, there's a dot after the Y in penny, just a small dot there. Don't know if you can see that. Then we move down to the 1942I. There you go. And the 1943. Now this one's a really high mintage with 40 million. We've got the 1943I and the 1944 with only 720,000. Alright, then we've got the rest of the King George VI. So we've got the 1945 and the 1945Y, and the 1946Y and the 1947Y. Show you those. Then below that we've got the 1948, 1948Y, 1949Y, and the 1950Y. Then we've got 1951Y and the 1951, 1951PL. And I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this, but if we get the PL here and we look really closely, let's see if I can zoom in here. Alright, so if you look really closely, right there is a small PL. It's a bit hard to see on the camera, but there's a little bit of a PL, and it just says PL after the penny. It's in really small writing there. Anyway, we'll move to the next coin. We'll zoom out there. Alright, so the next coin is this, the 1952A. Here you go. And we can move on to the last page, which is just for Queen Elizabeth II. So this one, that's the obverse here, and this was the first effigy of Queen Elizabeth, and the decimal coin started with the second effigy. All these coins for Queen Elizabeth II are pretty high mintage. You've got the 1953A, 1954Y, and then 1955, 1959, 1960, and 1961. Looks like it's got considerable luster. Then you've got the 1962Y. We've got a 1963 with some pretty nice toning there. And the last one, the 1964Y, which is also got some considerable luster. Alright, so that wraps up the album and also the video. So that's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon.